Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Drexel Freethought Society weekly podcast. Because of weird scheduling things, we're going a bit later in the day, so everyone can eat dinner first, or whatever it is people do at 5 in the afternoon on a Thursday. I'm David McDevitt, and I'm the president of the Drexel Freethought Society. The DSF is, or the DFS. What's DSF?
What is that?
We stand for reason, conversation, separation of church and state, and lots of other things that I'm sure we're going to get into. Because this week is, what is free thought? What does it mean to be a free thinker? What does it mean to be part of the Drexel Freethought Society? We're going to go over our basic information for people that are new to this, and we'll do lots of talking. We have Richard here today, and we also have Dante. Introduce yourselves, people.
Oh, or you want to talk about the format too, as far as like?
Oh yeah, we probably. Okay, so the general format is still going to be the same as before. We're going to go on for 45 minutes with just the three of us right now, but hopefully more as the day goes on, and we'll just talk about the subject, about whatever comes up. We'll try to be mostly orderly. Then we're going to take a short break, about 15 minutes, so we can recoup and I can start the show over again, and then it'll be the chat portion, where we'll answer emails, we'll continue talking amongst ourselves, and we also have the chance of people of Skype to join in and talk to us as well. You can call us via Skype by calling our name, Drexel Freethought, all one word, capitals, doesn't matter. You can also email us at drexfreethought@gmail.com. You can also message on our Facebook at Drexel Freethought Society if you feel like joining us. You can also Twitter us. There's every way to find us, it's fine. Please stay tuned to our website at drexelfreethought.org. That's where our list of events that are coming up, and as well as events in the Philadelphia area. It's also where our blogs are slowly accumulating. It's also where you can find our shows. You can also find our shows on Spreaker. If you go on Spreaker, you can join our live chat as well. And I'm going to stop talking about the normal announcements, and we will begin. What is free thought?
Well, I might as well go, since I am Dante Henson and the Vice President of the Drexel Freethought Society, and now I'll make this quick and simple so we can move on to Richard, and then we can get into the nitty-gritty. What I think free thought is basically, instead of relying on dogmatic systems like tradition, and law and religion, to learn different things, we use empiricism, logic, reasoning, basically critical thinking skills to figure out the ways of the world, to figure out issues, problems, anything else that may, wander into our mind at that moment.
Okay, I would actually like to say that free thought is scientific and logical analysis, things that are going on in real life and things that can be applied to other things. I would say that free thought is a lot like being a IT major or a science major or something when you're trying to figure out something and you say, oh, that doesn't work, so you try something different. And free thought is not atheism. I would like to make that clear. Free thought is not atheism. It is the thought process that involves questioning everything.
You seem very proud of that. Well, I would agree. There's a thing that goes around a lot, like secularism, skepticism, free thinking automatically means atheism. I would say that it doesn't automatically mean atheism. It just almost unanimously leads to atheism. It's once you get past all of the mental, once you get past all the mental afflictions of religion, like all of the dogmatic belief, all the tethers to your creativity, all the tethers to your sexuality, all the tethers to all of your thinking, then you truly become free thinking. Then you are unbounded. You can think about anything. You don't have to have this box in your head that your skepticism is not allowed to touch.
I agree with that. I think that atheism, not as it is in pop culture or anything, but just the non-belief of any boxes that you have to enclose yourself into. Like thinking, what if I don't think that there's a God? I can't think that because I'm a Christian, so therefore I'm not going to think outside of the box. When you're an atheist or anything else that involves non-theism, it opens up these boxes. So you're allowed to think outside of the box. That's literally what it is. It's thinking outside of the box.
You see, I would add to that. It's not just thinking outside the box. It's realizing there's never a box there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, at the same time, free thought goes even further than just the attribute of atheism to an extent, because certain atheists are just atheists. They don't believe in God, and you know, they will go on their life, like David and Dante and me. But then there are people that will get into this other box of people who call themselves atheists that have to think a certain way. Let's say feminist or a liberal, or, you know,
it's
PC
like,
liberalism.
It's like,
and then you're in another box. Even if you're an atheist, you can't, you have to get out of that box to be a free thinker.
It's like I would say that skepticism and all those various things tend to lead people to atheism, but that doesn't mean that people automatically, because they're an atheist, apply skepticism to everything. Like Jainists are technically atheists, but they worship a strange lady named Jane. There's also a lot of other beliefs that just because you don't believe in a God does not mean you're completely skeptical of all of your beliefs. It just happens that you don't believe in a God.
Yeah, it just answers one question. Do you believe in God? No. Well, you know, that's all it says.
But then you could be like, but what I do believe in is the magic unicorns in my closet.
Yeah,
you're like, all right, assuming
the magic unicorn is not a god. Assuming it's just a unicorn. There's people who believe in, and I can't prove it, Bigfoot. You know, there's atheists that think that Bigfoot's lurking around in Pennsylvania. There's actually people who think that, but also don't believe in a god. So it's really situational when it comes to that. Like, they're free thinking towards a deity, but not so much with, you know, cryptozoological entities, paranormal activities, things like that.
I'd also like to put out the idea that atheism is not equivalent to atheism plus. Have you guys heard of atheism plus?
Yeah, expound on that.
I think atheism plus. Okay, so do you want me to?
Well, yeah.
Some of our guys went on there.
I forget exactly who said it originally, but atheism plus was the notion that because you're an atheist, that means you should also be like progressive with sexual rights, progressive with women's rights, progressive with all these other things. And it's like, that's lovely. And I do agree with most of the things that people that would call themselves atheist plus think, but that's just silly.
But they're not related.
They're not related, and we can't make them related. It's like, I am extremely skeptical of pretty much everything. And that is something that led me to being an atheist. It also led me to not believe that women should be treated lesser than men. It also led me to believe that, like, homosexual folk deserve just as much right as heterosexual folk. That just it doesn't make any sense that they should be treated differently.
It's the thought process that matters. You know, like you're thinking towards different subjects, because you know God and feminism.
But the point is the lack of a belief in a God is not a driving force to really do anything.
Yeah, it's just a lack of.
It's like there is definitely an argument to say like anti-theism is a drive to do stuff, but lacking a belief in something is not. But if you actively dislike the belief in gods, then yeah,
it could be a driving force.
That could be a driving force to like eradicate religion, and that has happened with lots of people.
So you could say an anti-theist would go out and commit crimes, and not necessarily somebody in the name of
atheism. Well, it's like you can, but that doesn't necessarily mean people do. Like, I would call myself an exceptional anti-theist. I really dislike religious belief in every form, all the time. I really do think it poisons everything, but I fully support everyone's right to believe whatever they want.
I agree with you.
And I want them to. If it makes them feel comfortable, by all means believe in it.
As long as it doesn't harm anybody else. As long as it doesn't expound on everybody else.
Honestly, as long as they don't bring it up. Well, that's not entirely fair. If someone comes up to me and says, like, do you believe in Jesus? I'd be like, no, of course not. That's just silly.
And if they let it go, it's okay.
Yeah, and then we had that exchange, and then we're done. But if they continue, then I will say what my opinion on the subject.
See, I believe that.
But the point is, they opened the door. I didn't.
That's true.
I believe that the problem with people thinking that atheists are a-holes or something, for the lack of a better term, is because most of the people that attribute themselves to an atheist group or an atheist group,
you just said atheist group twice.
Yes, I did. They attribute themselves to people who always have to bash religion 24/7. But in real life, atheists, just as people who do not believe in God, who do not actually attribute themselves within atheist groups, are like a bunch of cats. They are.
I do love
yes.
that. It's like gathering atheists are like gathering cats.
Oh,
we're all generally intelligent and too independent to be prone to gathering together.
But I think.
Wait. Chaz says fix our mic. It's way too low.
Oh, it's way too low?
Yeah.
Sorry, Chaz!
Thank you, Chaz. Appreciate it. Hope people actually got what we were saying.
Chaz, could you at least hear us? Well, now we're actively talking louder. I didn't actually increase the mic any.
Yeah.
How about now? How does it hear?
I'll talk a
Is
little.
it good now? Chaz, can you hear us?
I'll talk a little bit, and then you just kind of dictate how we sound. But as far as Freethought, you know what? Freethought is not a very familiar term in popular culture, in the media, or anything. Like you know, you hear a lot about atheism, religious folks, and stuff like that, but you don't really hear the term Freethought too much, and it makes me wonder why. Like, you know, and the few people who do know what Freethought is, you either have people who know what Freethought is and, you know, explain it in the way we did, or you have people that immediately attribute it to atheism, which, you know, because people just have like this. They look at a word and then they automatically tack something onto it. But like there are religious people who are what I would consider free thinkers. I mean, because can you really say that anyone is like an absolute free thinker? Like they free think on everything. They hold no bias whatsoever. Like, is there such a person?
No. Well, I mean, I don't think those are equivalent necessarily. I think you can have biases, but still be skeptical of them.
Yeah.
Like, I'll flat out say, I think I'm right most of the time. I'm one of those people.
You said most of the time, though. There's some people who think they're right all the time, no matter what.
Well, yeah, but even then, like, I'll admit, I think that I'm right with most of the things I say. Okay. Even though demonstrably I'm not.
At least you admit it, though.
No, but that's the point. And that means even when I think that I'm definitely right, I need to be able to check myself. And I think that's what it means to be free thinking. You can still think that you're right, and even be pig-headed about it if you have to. But it's just the ability to then go.
But you do question yourself.
Yes, you just have to be able to basically get outside your own head occasionally and be like, "Damn, I was just completely wrong. My bad. Goodbye, everyone. I'm gonna slink away into the shadows."
Some people, like, you know, they'll be free thinking, like I said, towards you know, sexuality or towards religion or whatever, but you know, they'll be extremely biased and pig-headed and absolutist in other things.
Okay, I think that's the important thing. To be like the absolute free thinking, you just have to not be absolutist. You must live in a world of gray.
And I call myself a free thinker to the extent of where I think I question everything, but there is these biases that I will hold, and I don't think I'll ever let them go because they seem too obvious to me. Like the idea that, you know, the obvious idea that gays should be allowed to marry. I don't think I'm ever going to change my opinion on that ever. Because I just think it's totally obvious. But of course, I can be questioning if I'm right about that or not, but I'm not going to because I know I'm right.
No, but even if you think that you're right, occasionally just reevaluate.
Exactly.
Some people don't do it.
That's all it means to be free thinking. It's like, should homosexuals marry? Yep. Then go back about your day.
Some people really, really don't do that at all. You know, I've debated with all kinds of people, religious folks, feminists, conspiracy theorists, even when you prove that they're demonstrably incorrect or just blown out of proportion, they're still like, no, this is it. I know it is. I don't have to question myself. They don't, they just go along with it. That's what they're like. They get that tunnel vision, So so I wonder if there's actually a person who doesn't have tunnel vision on anything.
But I
don't know. The more things you learn in your life, the more little biases you'll start creating.
Yeah,
and that's just being human.
It's just a human thing. Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think there's anybody that is skeptical towards like every single thing. Babies.
Maybe.
Baby.
But but there's a
babies, the original free thinkers.
There's a thing about saying that the use of language actually makes people not think outside of some. Let me explain it.
Okay.
If somebody uses a bad terminology, like
snacks for later.
If somebody uses a bad terminology, like, I don't know, the F word, F-A-G-G-O-T, I don't want to say it.
It's a bundle of sticks, faggot.
But if you don't want to say it, period, and nobody else says it, period, what happens is that it creates this environment over not saying it, and therefore that
PC.
word actually has a meaning to it now because nobody uses it.
We had a political correct video already.
Oh, yeah.
No, but that is true. And it's like, language is another thing that we have to be skeptical and free thinking about. Because like even now, Dante said it, and I'm just like, Dante, we're on the air, we're not supposed to say that. And it's just like, it's true. We're not supposed to swear on the show because we're representing Drexel. But it's one of those things that's just so stupid, is because those words, they have incredible power, because if you think about it...
We give them the power.
No, it was a bundle of sticks. And that's why we started using it to describe homosexual people, because people wanted to actively burn them.
Oh yeah, the etymology behind it. It's
like, that's why we picked our terms for a reason. And it's terrible. And that's just... I understand why people, especially homosexual people, find it very uncomfortable when people use that kind of language, especially in a derogatory way. But what we all have to be aware of is it is just words. Like, laugh them off. Deride the people that say them, saying like, oh, you can't think of any more intelligent way to insult me than antiquated language. Congratulations.
That's like,
it's like
some black people using the N-word, which is confusing because only black people use the N-word and nobody else uses it because they're afraid to use it. I would never use it because I don't like the word.
I just think it's pointless.
But it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I'll be honest with you, and this is the free thinker in me coming in. Me being an African-American, black person, whatever you want to call me, I don't care.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Well, people on the radio might not know. I hate
this
using
is news to me.
Even though I'm using it now, I hate using the term N-word because, well, not even because of the history, but the bias towards that word. It's like you can say all these other ethnic slurs without saying you can't say the C word, you can't say the D word, you can't say the N word, but you have to call the N word N word. And it makes no sense. The only reason I'm not saying it is because we're on the radio. And
yeah, we represent Drexel.
Yeah, and we don't. I don't want people.
So bad Dante for saying the other one.
Yeah, bad Dante. But I did say bundle of sticks. So
yes, clarified. Thank you.
I did say bundle of sticks. But the only reason why I'm holding back.
Oh, I stubbed my toe. Fornication under the consent of the king.
Yeah, there you go. But it's ridiculous how, first off, we even come up with these asinine words to begin with, and secondly, that power that you were talking about that we instill in those words.
Yeah, so those words really, the only power they have to me anymore is the PC nonsense that has been applied to them.
Yeah.
That's why it was just a twinge. And I'm just like, shut up, heart. You don't have to twinge over such stupid language. Because they're just adjectives / nouns to describe people. That's pretty much what all bad words are.
And when I get called that, it actually makes me laugh. It's like, really? Like, that's it?
That's what I was saying before. It's just like, that's all you can come up with.
You called me that? I was like, what?
No, there was a Seinfeld bit about, like, giving someone the finger. And it's just like, I don't understand. It's, you raise one of your fingers, I'm waving my hand around right now, and it's supposed to make me feel bad. That's what you're saying. So, like, I would be more insulted if someone gave me the toe, really. But aside from that, it's like, you're saying some word, and that's supposed to make me feel bad. Is that what you're saying?
That's what they're creating. That's the situation they create.
Free thinking people, get out of this mindset. It is not necessary anymore.
We can destroy the negative meanings behind these words. And I don't mean taking the word and modifying a few letters like they did with the N-word. I mean, if they use the word in the form that, in the heinous form that people created it to be, you can just laugh it off and it loses power. The N-word will lose power. All these ethnic slurs can lose power. These curse words can lose power.
If someone called me an ethnic slur, I just look at them confused. I'd be like, me? Are you referring to me?
You know, middle fingers. You know,
Richard, you can answer if someone's talking.
You can type in if you want. Middle fingers.
Richard is talking on the live stream. If anyone was curious.
Middle fingers, they make me laugh. It's like, really, you put your finger up. You know, I do admit though that occasionally.
What's hilarious though? In Britain, the flipping the bird or whatever is doing this.
Peace.
Wow.
No, this is peace. This is cursing.
Oh, the other side. Oh, okay.
And you know what's kind of funny? When I saw that, I was just like, penis, vagina.
I actually have something to say about PC liberalism without going way too far into it.
There's those dirty words again.
There's actually a county within a certain state where you cannot use mother or father in the workplace because it's insulting to people that come from gay parents or people that are gay, which doesn't make any sense to me.
They came from the mother and father.
I mean, I just don't understand this because, all right, let's say that you are from a gay family and you have two fathers or two mothers. All you have to say is my dad number one or dad number two, or
whatever language you use in that family,
or maybe which father
what they prefer.
Which father likes the
I've
mother
role.
role.
I've heard people
you
say
can say
like,
my mother and you mean my male mother. I mean that's all it means. If you have two male parents or two female parents.
I've heard people just use the vernacular. They were like Mother Sandy or someone.
Mother Sandy.
It would be like mother and then the person's actual name is what the children would refer to their two moms.
But it's literally all this is doing is just limiting speech more and more. So let's say you have a mother and father, you can't use mother and father anymore. You have to use parent, and what they're gonna do then? You're not allowed to use parent.
There was such a long period. There's such so a lot of my people I talk to feel uncomfortable like describing people of color. Like they're black, their skin is dark.
I've seen that. I've seen that a lot of times.
I used to do that too, and I think when I was describing Dante, I was just like, he's a black friend of mine.
A lot of times,
and it wouldn't bother me. I'd just be like,
it's like,
yeah, that's me.
It's a it's your skin color. It's a descriptive factor.
I'm a darker shade of brown, which just people decide to call black. That's
If that's like I consider myself white, even though technically I'm beige.
I actually don't understand. If you're gonna make a joke, let's say I made a really stupid joke one day. Somebody asked me, "Who do you think cleans up like every night?" And I'm like, "Oh, probably some random black guy." And it's like, "Why does he have to be black?" And I'm like,
makes this joke?
"I don't know. I was just saying someone random."
Random black guy.
It doesn't have to be
black.
black.
Do you know what's funny though? If you said some random white guy, no one would care.
Exactly. So therefore, black
We
being
give
black
the words
is
power.
automatically
we
a bad
give the words
thing.
power.
That doesn't make any sense. It's like saying some random Asian woman. You're not allowed to say Asian or woman. It's like
because of history. It's because it's because of archaic mindsets. You know, where black people have gone through stuff, and so now it seems like a lot of people have set in their heads that there's still a ton of people out to get us, and unfortunately, there are people who are, but. I think it's gotten to the point where it's just paranoia and it is drilled into their head at a young age that watch out because everybody that's not black is out to get you. Yeah, you can't say Oriental.
You know what's happening in like European countries a lot? They're not allowed to say that people are Islamic. They call them South Asian or Asian.
But they're not. This is Islamic.
But you're comparing a nation to a belief system.
Yeah, because technically they were from Asia. They're from that continent.
But there are black people, and there are white people, and there are Asian people, and there are Middle Eastern people who are Muslim. So you cannot be Islamophobic if you're talking about a race, because you're not racist if you're, I don't know, against Islam. You just don't like the religion, and neither do I.
Yeah, Islamophobia is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of. There's no such thing as Jew-phobia. There's anti-Semitic. And that's racism. That's being racist against people who are from a certain region. As being like, can I think of it? Like normal racism is normally people from like South America and Africa.
And it's like
because that's hating someone because you're born somewhere. You like disliking somebody's beliefs is not racism. Let's make that very clear.
Exactly.
But this is okay. Now let's move back, I guess, into the like religious atheist perspective.
Okay.
It's black as a term is just as dumb, just as white, because it doesn't depict either culture well.
But people think it does.
Yeah, there is no black and white culture. There are so many subcultures in each one. Every culture that could be considered a white or a black culture has other races intermingled.
Well, the thing about that is that white.
There's a huge Hispanic thing going on.
I remember the reason why people say the colored people are black and the non-colored people are white is because white is a sign of purity. Black is the opposite. That's why.
White is a sign of we were in a place with less sun.
No, I mean.
White is an.
I mean, in a terminology. Including holiness and unholiness.
Again, it's giving words power. Silly power. That's what it is. That's all.
Really, all racism ever was just that we're afraid of things. People are afraid of things they don't understand. And we're like, what? You're a different color than me?
It's a form of xenophobia.
It really is. That's all it means.
It's ridiculous. But as far as the, you were talking about the atheistic religious aspect of free thinking, what can we say about that?
Well, the one thing I wanted to go into is we have like 15 minutes left, actually.
Yeah, good idea.
We've been talking relentlessly.
We questioned everything, but go ahead.
It's kind of what this group is for. A long time ago, in a land right here. Okay, I was going somewhere with that, but it died.
I like that.
I started up this group again because at Drexel there is no place for people that don't believe in gods. There just isn't. There never really was. We have a plethora of different religious groups. We have a lot of groups that don't cater really to any religion, that are like philosophy club, math club, chess club, all those sort of things that are more subject based. But there is no place at Drexel where people that do not believe in a god can come together and not be afraid of it. Because I hate to tell you all, but if you're an atheist in this country, a lot of people automatically don't like you.
It's considered a dirty word.
And I wouldn't say that they're stupid.
They're brainwashed.
A lot of people are brainwashed, but it's also just the general upbringing. If you're taught a certain way, then this is how you're going to think. But at Drexel, there are like I said, there is a huge number of religious groups. And there is zero representation of atheists or non-believers, or even just religious people who want to keep it to themselves. And who just want to be around people that, honestly, are comfortable bitching about religion. Pardon my language. And that is what the Freethought is. That's why I brought back the Freethought Society. And happily, sadly not many, but a fair number of people joined me. This group is designed for people that do not believe in a god to come together and have a community. Have our voices heard. Have them know that we exist and we're not terrible people. We just lack another belief. Just like Christians don't believe what the Muslims believe, and Muslims don't believe what the Christians believe, we just don't believe in either of them. This doesn't make us evil. This doesn't make us strange. This just makes us different than those people. We are just as human, and we are just as interesting. I would say that we're more so, but that's just me. What also this allows us to do is become affiliated with a lot of other groups, and that's why I'm very happy to say that we have friends in Philadelphia, and that our events page on our website can show that. that we have a lot of groups that anyone that's in this group or anyone in Philadelphia that wants to talk about stuff that you can't talk about anywhere else, you can do it here and you can do it there. I'm very happy to be the leader of this group. And I want more people to join us.
And if you want to put more salt on the wound, technically, if you're monotheistic, you also happen to be an atheist. How? Well, it depends on what respect. Like David was saying, if you are a Christian, you believe in Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever word he goes by, just simply God, but you don't believe in Thor, you don't believe in Anubis, you don't believe in Defugla. You are atheistic towards those gods. You do not think they exist. You don't believe they exist. But
we just go one God further.
That's all that is. So again, it just goes back to my point about the whole atheism thing. And this is free thinking right here. I'm questioning beliefs. I'm even questioning atheism itself. Towards certain ideas, you are atheistic towards them. Now, if that angered you, I want to ask you why. How come when I called you an atheist, even though you're a Christian or a Muslim or any other monotheistic belief, why does me calling you an atheist anger you? And I've actually called somebody this, and they were like, no, I'm not an atheist. I'm not a freaking atheist. And he just blew up. And I'm like, but why are you upset? You actually don't believe in those other guys, do you? No, I don't believe in them. Then you are atheistic towards those guys. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because that's all an atheist is. It's just...
If someone presents a God claim, and you're like, I reject that. I don't think that's actually true. Then you're an atheist to that particular God claim.
Exactly. That's all that means.
A reason why
it's a pointless label, I think, but it's a label nonetheless.
A reason why that happens is because A reason why that happens is because the word atheist has a negative vernacular to it.
Mm.
It's true.
Because people gave it the power to be a disgusting evil word for whatever reason. We attach on these silly illogical emotions to these words without actually questioning the etymology behind the words. And I really think that there should be some sort of course or something, in schools that teaches etymology, the origins of certain words, even curse words.
I would love if we finally had a comparative religion class. Just in some, even if it's just an elective in high school.
Oh, yeah,
then
absolutely.
People could just be like, oh, so everyone's not a Christian? Because that's what a lot of people think.
There's people who think that Christians are the only people here.
I used to believe since I came from a family in which my mom's side was a Jewish person, and that's really bad. But my dad's side was Catholic. I just thought the only two groups were Christians and Jews. I didn't know there was something else until 5th grade, where I actually learned about different religions, but just to a very limited sense. I didn't even learn about atheists back then.
Most people don't.
I didn't even know they existed. When I was a child, I thought the notion that a person not believing in a deity was inconceivable. Chaz says we cut out. Can you still hear us, Chaz? Are we still cut out?
Yeah, a thunderstorm just started here.
Yeah, we have Mother Nature exacting her
plotting against us.
Yeah,
Well, we're just gonna keep talking. Forgive us, various people that may or may not be listening now or in the future. There's a lot of rain happening right now, so we're probably going to cut out, and there's going to be lots of technical problems. But still feel free to call in at 6:15 or 6:30. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes.
Can I get a ride home?
10 seconds left.
I don't want to bike through this.
Yeah, can I get a ride home too?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Man, I hope it calms down by the time we get done, though. But my car is over there.
Oh,
I tried to park in front, but there was no space. Anyways, back to the thing. I'm sorry, talking about parking.
Silly
Free
weather.
thought.
We're such free thinkers who can't even stay on topic.
But yeah, like some sort of etymological class, based on origins of words, comparative religions, different ideologies. We should awareness of these different concepts, because there are people who really think that there's only Christians, there's only Muslims, This word definitely means this when it actually had another, meaning back then. We should, and it all starts with education, parenting at home and stuff. Parents should be educating themselves on these topics and should pass it on to the next generation.
This kind of goes into like the opposite of free thinking, and it's that
dogma.
Yeah, a lot of people are brought up with a lot of dogmatic thinking, and one of them is specifically like there is like we are a world of Christians or we're a world of like Muslims, and anyone who does not believe that is a filthy infidel swine.
Dogma is evil. That's the down. I think that the
So
exact
you sound
opposite.
very dogmatic about that.
No, the opposite of free thought is dogma. And I think that dogma is probably the root of all evil. Not questioning anything is the root of all evil, because ignorance.
Money is just is a convenience. It's a way of, instead of working the land for you for 5 years, I'll just give you the equivalent of money.
Ignorance is the equivalent of anger and the equivalent of frustration towards terms like atheism. And ignorance is harbored by dogma, because dogma praises ignorance.
Well, not necessarily, because ignorance goes beyond that. Ignorance is actually quite natural. Ignorance is just simply not possessing the knowledge of something.
Well, this would be willful ignorance.
Yeah, this would be more of like forced ignorance.
Yeah.
Willful ignorance.
Mm-hmm. That's better. Sorry, I was being very technical.
We have like 10 minutes left. What awesome topic can we talk about for 10 minutes?
Well, what are some things that are usually not questioned besides religion?
Government. Parents.
Definitely parents.
Authority.
Preconceived notions. Like, one thing that relationship stuff. Because we'll always talk about relationships every video.
Because it's very cultural, traditional.
I know, it's just so stupid. It's just kind of like, no, I have actually met a number of people who are polyamorous. I honestly don't think I could do it, but
it works for some
people. If other people can, then whatever.
It works for some people.
The idea that people have to be married in order to have kids.
No, people that have to be married to show that they love each other.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't understand that at all. If you want to...
Culture, like Chaz said.
Some people were talking behind me during a physics lecture, and they were just like, they were talking about getting a ring. And I was just like, all right, getting a ring, that's pretty, whatever.
Poor guys.
But they're just like, no, they're getting a ring. It was just the fixing, like the band, effectively. And they were going to spend a copious amount of money over a series of years to slowly fill it with diamonds. And I was just like, why would you do that? Buy a house. Put down a down payment on an apartment.
I actually think that's
Get a vehicle.
I think that's pretty funny that people who get married or engaged or whatever, they have to give a ring with a diamond on it, because it comes to mind that, oh, you're going to show someone that you love them by giving them a ring with a diamond on it that was literally taken from people in poor countries, because guess what? Diamonds are called blood diamonds for a reason.
Oh,
so you're going to promote somebody getting...
Honey, I love you so much that I was willing to torture people to get this ring for
Exactly! And it's the same thing with pants.
That's what
something.
tradition
You
does.
go down the Kohl's, you get pants, and I know this is the same thing, but you go down the Kohl's, you get pants for $30, which is already enough, and then you go down the and then you go to American Eagle or some designer shop in order to get the specific type of jeans, because it's cool, because it has American Eagle, when it's exactly the same thing and it costs $50 more, which is ridiculous. Why would you buy a pair of pants for $50 more?
Because tradition and culture tax on these emotions and these illogical these things on things that shouldn't even matter. Rings, diamonds. I'm trying to remember, when did diamonds even come into prominence as being very valuable?
I think it was really in like for weddings and stuff. It was like in the 50s.
In the 50s.
And fashion.
Okay, so at one time, a diamond was just a really pretty stone. It was just there.
No, it was really hard, so it was used in industry.
Yeah, and then now somebody was just like, we should make it worthwhile.
I can put that stuff on rings.
Yeah, basically. That's basically what happened. We take items and we put an attribute on it. Like this pair of jeans versus this pair of jeans. If you buy this pair of jeans, which has no commercials, is not put out in the media or whatever, you're considered cheap. So these are the cheap jeans. These are to show that you don't care about this person very much anymore. Meanwhile, you have this pair of jeans, which is exactly like this pair of jeans, except that it has this name on it, but it has the emotion and the ideology behind it that, hey, this means that, A, you have a lot of money, and B, you really care about the person, so you're going to buy them these pair of jeans. You're just attaching a name.
I don't know why we keep going down this route when we could totally just say, I love you this much money, and just hand the person a lot of money.
You might as well.
It's the same thing as like Louis Vuitton or something. You get a regular pencil case, right? A pencil case, you can get that over at the dollar store. But if you want a really cool one, you get a Louis Vuitton one for $75. You get a Louis Vuitton
to perform
pencil.
the same exact action that the $1 one would do.
The same thing in the first place.
But no one questions these things. That's my problem. How this culture, especially in the dating culture, how come people don't question these things? Why don't people question marriage? It's like it's ingrained, especially in women, especially when they're little girls. It's like they watch all these Disney movies. It's like you have to be Princess Jasmine. You have to be Anastasia. You have to find that Prince Charming, and you have to get married and live happily ever after. You must do that, otherwise you fail in life.
And that's extremely damaging.
And yeah, exactly, because
it'll never happen.
Because now they're set. They have like this tunnel vision. They're set.
Oh, that's the thing we didn't really go into. I think we'll have to save that for later.
Yeah,
but
we got 3 minutes.
Yeah, just like a spoiler, I guess. Really damaging things that are caused by lack of free thinking. Let's all think about that for the time after this.
Think. Is that keyword think?
Let's think all the time, loudly.
Think.
For the last 3 minutes, we're all just going to think really loudly at the microphone. Alright, it appears that Richard had a seizure. Let's just ignore that and continue thinking.
I'm not even going to ask.
What is seizure thinking too much? My brain exploded.
Seizures aren't funny, Richard. Why are we all on our phones?
Because somebody is annoying me on the phone. I apologize. See, cell phone culture. See, we gotta think about that too.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm not too possessed by my cell phone like most people are.
I hate it when people are like, I feel exactly the same thing when I do that. It's like the duck face thing.
Oh, we definitely have to.
I hate duck face.
Did we do a podcast at all on like advertising before? Did we do one?
I think we did.
Because people don't question that either.
We have to do it on cultural norms.
We did.
Really?
Yep.
When?
Long time ago.
Oh. We should do it again.
We'll think of a spin-off. How about that? We'll think of a spin-off.
Duckface.
No, we'll do an entire show on duck.
Yeah, we're not going to do an entire show
on
that.
Duckface.
Alright, we clearly have run out of things to say, so I'm going to call it now. Thank you everyone for joining us in just the talking portion of our show. We are the Drexel Freethought Society. When we return in 15 minutes at around 6:30, we will love to hear from anyone else. We have a few emails lined up, but if anyone else would like to email us at drexfreethought@gmail.com, please do. If you would like to join the live stream, join us at Spreaker.com under Drexel Freethought Radio. You can also join us directly on Skype by calling us at Drexel Freethought. Thank you everyone and have a nice day.
I'm debating on whether I should become a flesh eater at the moment or should I just hold off till I get home. I'm probably going to hold